What's up, YouTube? It's been a while, hasn't it? Not really, I know. I hope you're doing all right. Are you doing? Are you wondering how I'm doing? Well, I'm great. Thanks for asking. So, since my last video I released in regards to eggs being a superfood, I actually got a response back from Stephen Warren, the guy who made his own video. And he actually, he responded cordially. The guy, he seems like a gentleman, like a nice dude overall. And I don't have anything personal against Stephen or, and any of that. Him as a person, just put it that way. What he talks about is not accurate, but then again, he doesn't cite any studies. So, really, it's just words coming out of his mouth if there's no scientific backing to it. So, but we'll get to that in a second. So anyways, in his comment, he did talk about how anyone, and I'm paraphrasing here, he essentially said that anyone can pull up studies to support their argument. And I agree, that's very true. And that's why I initially asked him if he wanted to debate, because then we could just clear the air completely in regards to at least this topic of eggs being a superfood, because I just blatantly proved that it's not a superfood due to all the facts in the video. If you want to see it, I'll put a card somewhere up here, a little link, and I'll put a link in the description box if you're new to the channel. And if you're new to the channel, you know what you're supposed to do, right? Do you not see it? What are you waiting for? Push it. Push the button. Go ahead. Love you. So Stephen, he's talking about how anyone can bring up studies to support their argument, which again, he didn't bring anything to the table. He didn't say anything in regards to supporting his this whole egg debacle. And he also states that cholesterol is still up for debate. But again, he doesn't have any type of supporting evidence that he's bringing forth, so therefore, again, it just means nothing. I want to see it, and I've asked him, and I haven't received a response. And honestly, I don't think I'm going to get a response, because I really don't think he gives a shit. Nothing against him. He just doesn't want to do it, is my assumption. I'm just guessing here. So the whole point of all this is that, yes, people do have arguments, and that's why these debates, I believe, are, can be very useful if anyone wants to debate. And if not a debate, then at least a response video, something like that, or at least bring some studies, or, show some type of proof, some type of reference backing up what you're saying, and let the other person refute what you're saying. I have yet to receive anything. No one's refuted shit that I'm saying, not because I'm some genius or nothing. I'm not. No, or some crap like that, or other people have cited these studies that I've gotten. Some of them I found on my own, but other people, I found the studies and then I read the studies myself, and then I was like, oh shit, there's some pretty interesting stuff here. Oh shit, that makes sense. Whatever, it wasn't fun. These aren't industry funded studies, or they're not flawed by design. But a lot of other studies are, I've noticed. Usually, from what I've seen, these studies that show that there's zero correlation to coronary heart disease in regards to saturated fat intake. Do some of you know who I'm talking about? This old bastard back here, Ronald M. Krauss. Yeah, it's a scumbag right there. These are people that work for the industry, and these studies that they bring up are usually flawed by design. These certain tests need to be, when it comes to cholesterol, they need to be tested a certain way, and cholesterol levels need to be tested at baseline. If you don't test cholesterols at baseline in regards to seeing if coronary heart disease is caused by saturated fat or cholesterol, then you're gonna have skewed results. And we've known this since like the 70s, since I believe 1979. So these studies are they're designed with an agenda, and as you can see, they're usually funded by industry. Usually it's like the National Dairy Council or like the American Egg Board. They throw a lot of money into this shit. So, they're not legitimate studies. So what I always say is, but bring me the study anyways, because let's talk about it, because maybe the person who's bringing that study maybe didn't know this. Okay, and let me just make something clear. I'm not here to make someone who's trying to spread information feel stupid. I'm honestly not trying to do that. I sometimes act very aggressive and all that stuff, but that's honestly just for the camera. You know, I'm trying to take more of a real approach, I've noticed, because it's exhausting. When you set up a camera and you're like yelling around and doing all this other crap, man, it just, for some reason, it takes something out of me. I like to be a little bit animated, but when you go too far, I mean, it's just too much, man. And that's not what I'm about. Look, I much rather just take an objective approach. Yeah, and I'll throw my opinion here and there. You know, of course, you know, I'm a person. I'm not perfect. And yeah, I'm going to make mistakes every so often. But for the most part, I'm going to try to keep it as objective as possible when it comes to health, at least. When it comes to, like, talking about nutrition and health, all those topics, and training. The thing with training is that can be very subjective. That's the problem with training. But that's a different topic completely. We're not going to get into that today in this video. Sorry. The point is that usually when I've done this with people, or I've talked to people about this, they're like, oh yeah, you know, you've got some biased point of view because you care about the animals. And look, let me just make this very clear. Look, if I needed to eat animal flesh to survive, or for anything, well, I'm not gonna say to optimize, but if I needed to eat animal flesh to survive because I was an omnivore, then I would say, yeah, we need it to survive because we can't produce a certain enzyme that comes specifically from animal flesh or the secretions of an animal, so therefore I consume it. But no, that's not the case. That's not the case. So therefore, since we don't need to consume it, it automatically makes it unethical to take advantage of another animal to consume it. Perfect example is a bear or a lion in the woods or whatever, you know, in the Sahara, whatever, needs Sahara? Are lions in the Sahara? Are they? Oh, Jesus. A lion needs to eat animal flesh to survive. So you can't blame the lion for being a lion. Humans don't need to eat animal flesh, hence why we don't have the anatomy of a flesh eater. And please don't bring up fucking these weak little bullshit canines that we have. These little canines that we have are not meant to shear through flesh. No. Hippos have the largest canines on the planet, and they're herbivores as well too. But that's a different animal. I get the argument. I'm just saying we're not physiologically meant to eat animal flesh or the secretions. Otherwise, we would not get sick from them. And then, you know, I've like said this multiple times. It's not a shot to anyone's ego. It's not to make you feel bad. That's a fact. That is a fact. The human body is a herbivorous body. It just is. Don't take it up with me. Take it up with whatever superior being you believe in, or the universe. But don't take it up with me. I'm looking at the science, and the science says that we are herbivorous creatures roaming this planet. The human races. It's what it is, man. What do you want to do? So, I'm just gonna make this video as well too, just to make this statement. I have an open invitation to anyone who wants to question anything I have. If you make a response video, or if you have any studies, throw it my way. If I've got time, I'll look at the studies, and you know, if I find any flaws in the studies, by all means, yeah, I'll tell you what's wrong with it. I'll make a video on it if I can. But usually, it's just very annoying when people say things and they don't back up what they're saying. You know, when they say, well, I could find, you know, but there's other studies to support this. Well, where are the studies, man? And let's talk about those studies. Let's talk about those studies. You know, and it's just very, very irritating when people say that, because it's not substantiated. And we, as humans, need to understand that we, again, and I said this in my previous video, we cannot let our egos get in the way of objectivity, okay? We have to stay in a state of learning, and we cannot let our egos get the best of us just for the sake of convenience or pleasure or whatever it is, or because we don't want to be wrong. We just need to learn. I know it sucks. It's normal for some reason. It's normal human instinct to not want to be wrong. But it's not about being wrong or right. It's just about being objective, about objectively right, and not necessarily about your feelings or my feelings or anyone else's feelings. Okay, it's about objective fact. That's what it's about. And unfortunately, Steven didn't show shit. He failed, which is okay, I guess. Whatever, man. If I knew my video wasn't going to convince him, because it's honestly, it's not up to me for him to make his choice. You know, he just needs to know what he's doing if he continues to live a lifestyle like that. One, he's putting his health at risk. He may potentially be putting his family at risk. And two, he's harming animals and the environment for no reason. He is doing more damage than he needs to be doing. Okay, that's all. Okay, living a plant-based or whole foods plant-based lifestyle, it's not difficult. It's not hard. Okay, and it's the type of foods that you're supposed to be eating. And that's it. That's it. So that's my free flow video for this week. I'm gonna try to be making these little free flow videos at least once a week because you gotta pump out that content. No, I just want to try to produce more content. So I'll be releasing more of these like free flow, what I call free flow videos, where I just set up the camera and talk about whichever topic. So that's about it, guys. Just want to make this free flow video. If you like this type of video, let me know in the comment sections down below. Another question is to you: have you ever dealt with people like this? Are you a meat eater? And if you are an animal eater, I'm not even say meat eater, but an animal eater, why are you? Please tell me why. Let's talk about it. Let's have a conversation. We don't have to fight. Let's just talk about it. You guys know the deal. You know who I am. I'm the Natural Hulkster. I want to thank you for watching. If you could please do your boy a favor, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you're new to the channel, you already know what you're supposed to do. Help a brother out. I greatly appreciate every single one of you. Every single one of you. I truly do. I want to thank you for watching, and please stay tuned for the next one.